for some education, baby. How A1 Pictures became a fan favorite from SinChi himself. Let's get it.
Want to hear a song, guys?
Yeah.
With anime getting more and more popular, anime studios are the thing that really gets put in the limelight, either for the good things or the bad things. But a studio that has been arising recently, get it? Like,
yeah, Arise, I get it.
Soul Leveling thing. Although for me, this studio has always been one of the standouts, people have started to acknowledge the strength that the studio had, slowly changing behind the scenes. Yep, it's A24.
What?
Okay, it's A1 Pictures.
Oh.
A1 has been in the game for quite a while.
Let's go, baby. We got Creepy Nuts. Yeah, A1 Pictures is peak, bro. Whenever I think of elite studios, A1 Pictures immediately comes to mind. A1 Pictures, Studio UFO Table. That's right, not Ufotable. UFO Table. What else? KyoAni, right? What else? Mappa, Madhouse. They definitely can pump out great anime, you know, at the cost of slaves. What else? At the top of my head, that's kind of all I can think of. Studio Shaft, right? They're great. The Cloverworks, they've been cooking too, right? These studios definitely are top tier in my opinion. Gohans, they're a little special. Gohans, I don't think they exist in a different realm of existence.
Wow, but most people only know them for Soul Leveling because they are, say it together with me,
normies,
shonen, retard, watcher. So let's rewind.
Based. That's true. I mean, that's not a bad thing, right? That the masses are now beginning to recognize what A1 is known for. I remember Licorice Recoil airing, you know, I reacted to that too. Some of it's on my, you know, channel. Some of it's on my old channel too. It got deleted. Womp womp. But Licorice Recoil is pure quality. Sword Art Online. A1 Pictures. Season 3 and Season 4. Oh my god, the quality. It's fucking cracked. This studio, and even the rom-com that happened last year, the blue-haired fat ass, Makeine, right? The Too Many Losing Heroines. Quality. Amazing quality anime. They did Air Manga Sensei? Really? Oh yeah, Studio Bones, Science Saru, good picks. I'm just trying to like, I can't recognize all the fucking studios in my head right now. I can't just remember them. I'm just basically just spitballing whatever just comes to the top of my head.
Watcher. So let's rewind to the beginning of the studio. The studio was founded by ex-Sunrise producer Mikihiro Iwata in 2005 as a subsidiary studio of Aniplex, and in 2006 they co-produced an original anime called Zenmai Samurai, which
5.85, that's not a good one. This looks like a short one.
Studio No Side. The following year, 2007, the studio produced its first series called Okiku Furika Bote, and this will set the tone of the studio that they rely a lot on freelancers. I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. It's maybe a mixture of both. Off the bat,
a healthy balance.
Anime that they produce already got some talent in it because of the director Tsutomu Mizushima already having a pretty big backlog of directorial works with people like Kazuchika Kise, Tetsuya Takeuchi, and some more. This will be pivotal going forward because as the studio and animation producer.
Oh yeah, Fate Strange Fake 2. Yo, this anime, what the fuck, bro? They said episode 2 would be airing in April. They lie. Remember when episode 1 dropped in January? We were also hyped about it, but it's like, yeah, that's it, bro. Enjoy this based church boy who has a harem and is about to go gamble. That's it. Goodbye. Episode 2 in April, maybe. It's still April? I hear it got canceled. I hear straight up, it's not even happening right now in April.
Producers, they keep getting more and more connections, leading to animators and directors coming back. But before diving into that, there was another show that would literally change the industry. That's not clickbait. Oh yeah, there was also Black Butler, which is popular.
Okay.
But that show is mid.
Is it really? It's airing right now. Like straight up, Black Butler is airing this season. It's just, you know, there's so many seasons of you need to watch before getting into it.
And gay as fuck. I'm kidding. There was literally no point to talk about the show.
Okay.
And I'm also gay. Tetsuwan Birdie the Code.
Not gonna lie, Black Butler looks very sus. There is that big Black Butler guy who I think grooms the Shota. I don't know if that's the case, but that's my initial impressions just looking at the cover picture and the fan art. It looks very sus.
Now, most of you probably think, most influential? I've never heard of that. Should have been like Naruto or Bible Black. Well,
What?
Naruto is influential in another case, but Birdie the Code basically made the quote-unquote movement of digital animators,
What?
tablet pen type shit,
Oh,
more
okay.
prevalent.
Like setting like the meta of the technology used in animation. Okay, that's trend setting.
Technology keeps getting more and more advanced, so that leads to more accessibility and flexibility, I guess, for talent to join the industry. So the term webgen animators came to play. The first wave of webgen being Shingo Yamashita, Kenichi Katsuna,
Peak.
and Ryutomi.
Looks
The person
great.
we should focus on right now is Ryutomi. Tomi got into the industry via Osamu Kobayashi. He heard of Tomi through some online illustrations while he was directing Beck. He straight away recruited him to do key animation right off the bat. No in-between training since Tomi was self-taught and only had little experience from minor
So much
tasks
faith.
in the video game industry. He didn't know the fundamentals yet. It was a coin flip that would change how the anime industry flow. Ryotomi used his unorthodox style back then in a show called
Okay, is this not real Timo? He wrote Timo but read it as Tomi. Maybe it's a spelling error rather than pronunciation error.
the Noain? Noel.
Noin.
Noain? Very loose
Noin.
and fluid animation, but sacrificing consistency in the design. That show would attract legendary animator Norio Matsumoto that mentored him for a
Naruto
long
choreography.
time. And that's when Birdie the Code came in. Ryotome used his character designer role for creating an environment for these new up-and-coming animators to match the style.
Jesus Christ, the fan service, bro. What is she wearing? She's not wearing anything.
And also at the same time,
Jesus Christ. This design is absolutely insanity, bro.
exploited A1 Pictures since it is a new studio that didn't have that established identity yet.
Okay.
And of course, all of the first
They're up
wave
and coming.
of webgen, or you can also say Norio School animators, and basically changed the industry in a way. Although they had to change it in the DVD releases since the internet didn't really like it. It was
Boomer
basically the
age.
same thing with the Naruto versus Pain shit. While Birdie the Code was mostly because some idiosyncrasy animators, not the studio itself. It's a good display of how fast A1 grew as a studio later on. They would produce Black Butler, Fairy Tail, Working,
Big titles.
a 9-to-5 job as some of the most popular series in that era. Also in 2010, the studio worked together with TV Tokyo to make 3 original shows in that year, being Sora no Woto, Occult Academy, and Night Raid 1931.
Sorry guys, I do not recognize any of them.
Which Sora no Woto probably got the most notoriety from it. There was a little series called Kanaji that would set them to a really popular series in A1.
Jeez,
Well,
what's...
mostly in Japan. Kanaji was a heaven's place for character acting animators. The series director, Yutaka Yamamoto, bring along animators such as Yusuke Matsuo that would play a pivotal role in a future project, which both were previously from KyoAni. Although for
Haruhi, right?
Yutaka Yamamoto's case, he got fired from KyoAni. He got replaced after being series director for 4 episodes of Lucky Star, then got replaced because some performance issues.
Yikes, embarrassing. Womp womp. Oh well, it is what it is.
I don't know what that means, but later on in his career, he threatened to quit multiple times in the middle of anime productions, and
It just seems like a... got an attitude, bro. It's just hard to get along at work.
he's notorious for being racist
What?
to Chinese Korean people.
Well then. So it would have been more than performance issues.
And calling people mentally disabled on Twitter.
Low-key based. this guy's a riot.
But that's later in the future, so...
Anyways.
Sora no Woto also played in 2 with Akira Shimizu, strengthening his connections being Annie P for both shows, leading to a project that is Idolmaster.
Idolmaster!
Shigori,
Oh my god. Now this is a handheld name, ain't it? Idolmaster. Idolmaster and Love Live. Love Live? Ain't those like insane idol shows?
Series director Atsushi Nishigori attracted some of Gainax's staff to the show since he was previously from that studio, and with Akira Shimizu's connections too. There's also different producers like Yusuke Toba from Aniplex likes to bring Megumi Kono to all of his projects, so that leads to her being a major part of Idolmaster. The same thing with another Aniplex producer, Shunsuke Saito, that brought back the Okudamari team that previously worked on Anohana to make
I've heard
a
of that.
movie in the studio, The Anthem of the Hearts. The 2010s was when A1 made a lot of popular shows. Earlier in the year, they made Anohana, Magi, Blue Exorcist.
Yo, Magi is huge. Blue Exorcist too. Isn't that like a... I mean, that season just aired last season, I think, the newest one. Anyways, I heard great things about the manga. I'm not too sure about the anime though.
If anyone even watches that show, Shinsuke Yori and many more. Later in the year, they kept the pace going with shows like Erase or
Yo, I've heard about that too. A lot of people were talking about this shit when it was like a seasonal anime at that time.
Cucked Race, Seven Deadly Sins.
What?
You're like,
Oh, Seven Deadly Sins! Huge! This is before, you know, the final season, right? Seven Deadly Sins when it was actually good until it became Seven Deadly Frames.
Your Lie in April.
Huge. Your Lie in April, another insane title, right? The most tragic story ever that people say.
Saikano.
Saikano! I don't think I know this one. Looks like a slice of life. Cute girls and cute girls, cute things show? I don't know.
Grimgar. Gate.
I've heard of Grimgar. I didn't even realize Gate was an A1 Pictures anime. We reacted to that on this channel.
And my favorite.
SAO.
Ori Emo Season 2. Just kidding, that shit was ass.
SAO!
I'm talking about Aramanga Sensei
Where's SAO?
and the OV.
I hear that Aramanga Sensei did go crazy though. Like, man, a lot of people were just talking today. People, that was like the talk. They're like, Aramanga Sensei just basically went crazy viral last season, right? 7 out of 10?
And
Alright.
the OVA. There's so much shows I could talk about more since A1 is known for producing a lot of slop in this time era. They kept pumping up shows. It can vary.
Smile, sister! You know, this intro was so viral.
Some shows are unanimously amazing, or it can be shit. But something that's pretty consistent is their animation quality. Even if some shows feels bland for some dumbasses, the quality for their shows can be very consistent.
Yeah.
Or just directors that are brought on to these projects in the studio have their own connections, like Ryuhei Takashita with Aramanga Sensei. He's a regular in Doga Kobo, so a lot of talent from there follow Takashita to work with him, like Keisuke Kobayashi,
Jesus Christ, this camera angle.
Kenji Sawada, China, and many more. Since
Bro's name is China? I guess he's a Chinese animator, right? But what if he's Japanese? That'd be hilarious. Bro's just name is China.
again, this show is very flexible for character acting animators. Different producers leaving, directors doing one-off projects. It's quite few. People having different visions on how a show will look, so the style does varies a lot. Although that's not really a bad thing for the most part. It's very hard to highlight every show or even majority of it since A1 was going on a mad one this era. But some of you might have clocked something. That's about a pivotal show that made
SAO!
a very trashy genre popular nowadays. The show that
Where's my Sword Art Online, SinChi?
had so many ass shots that made Grimgar jealous, and having a
I guess Grimgar had a lot of ass shots too, huh? Yeah, bro. The scene on... Bro, I will never forget how... Like and I think that SAO is special. Because... SAO, the author of SAO, him, I think he's a complete degenerate. Because every season of SAO, there is a creepy grapist. Straight up. There is always one sexual assaulter creepy dude in every season, every part. And it's so uncomfortable. But the point I'm getting at is, they really go all out for those scenes. SAO season 3 or season 4, there's a scene where one of the girls literally gets tentacle graped. Actually. And it's one of the most just best animated scenes, and I'm like, wow. I see where your priorities are. So I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, the author definitely self-inserts himself as those characters. I'm pretty sure SAO author sees himself as Chudelkin, bro. Straight up. And Chinoken got to hit Quinella at the end. And I think that people working on A1 Pictures also have that the SAO team anyways, they see the vision. They see the vision of the SAO out there. Like, you know, bet I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. Those scenes, bro, we will make sure it goes so well. Like, there's also like in season 3 the Rios. Remember when like, oh shit, I got Rios SAO. I'm not gonna play the entire thing because copyright, obviously. But bro, like basically this dude. Oh, it's a meme right now. I will never. Like 2 girls are tied up into the bed and the bro fucking show, and it's just insane. They just all out fucking Sakuga into this moment, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Oh, A1 Pictures never fucking changed. We also saw hints of that, right, in season 2. The Shinon, you know, Death Zaza, right, Death Gun arc. Like literally, Shinon is having trauma, PTSD with Kirito, and they're talking that out in the cave, talking about what it means to be strong, to never give up, right? But while doing so, she's basically just like lying in Kirito's lap, and the cameraman is just panning towards her ass the entire time during this such an emotional fucking conversation. Anyways, A1 Pictures, SAO author, peak degens.
Random incest plot. Sword Art Online. SAO is notorious to popularize the trashy power fantasy isekai type shows.
Kirito is literally the base template for the, you know, MC.
With the generic ass black swordsman
look.
It kind of made people dislike A1 because the generic character designs, although this project was before those carbon copies
This fucking anime
MC looks appeared. Character designer Shingo Adachi usually gets the blame of birthing this style.
This guy, bro. Shingo Adachi is the reason why every fucking isekai dungeon fantasy MC looks like the same character.
Which is stupid. Same goes for another regular character designer in A1, Tetsuya.
Honestly, I don't think it's embarrassing. I think that's a legacy, bro. I'd be proud of it. I'd be like, yep, you know what? I am that guy. I literally blueprinted Kirito. What are you gonna do about it, pussy?
Kawakami, even in his recent work, Maki-ine, I remember people disliking the Maki-ine design because it was generic. Although I only saw like 2 people tweeting that out. Director Tomohiko Ito helmed the first 2 seasons of SAO and the Ordinal Scale movie. The show looked so good because of mostly action director Yuta Yanagi and action animation director Takahiro Shikama doing
amazing
a lot
fights
in season 1. Then with season 2 came different regulars like Tetsuya Takeuchi and of course Ryu Araki and Kengo Matsumoto, and many more. After that came the Ordinal Scale movie. This movie looked a bit different that impacted the project a lot for future project alicization. Kenta Iwaki was the compositing artist for the movie. Changed visually how SAO looked with more realistic and metallic-esque post-processing.
Yeah, there's definitely a change, right? Like the designs from season 2 and then the movie and then season 3, totally different. Not so different that it loses like the original feel, but it looks more, I guess, polished per se.
So we can see Asuna's ass better. It also came with a lot more action animation directors from different franchises. Naoko Kobayashi, prominent animator from Shippuden, brought people like SinChi Hyung. Takafumi Tori started to make a name for himself. And more importantly, the spike of the new wave of webgen animators were starting. Action animation directors Shun Enokido, Ryu Nakayama, Taketo Sakazume are tightly linked friends from their university days. Then came a lot of those web generation animators and even trusting younger talents for some cuts. Of course, there's the regulars too, or even superstar animators like Hironori Tanaka and Nozumo Abe. Still, I believe the best sequence in SAO to this date. This kind of make the industry overall trust a bit more on these young talent to be on major roles. So at the same year, Fate Apocrypha got produced. The main action directors are Taketo
Stop fighting leg days.
Sakazume and Shun Enokido, with the backing of a very experienced director, Yoshiyuki Asai. And with that came a lot more of those webgen animators.
I think that's great, bro. Webgen animators truly just like open the floodgates. Don't need to, you know, like if you can do it, pull up and do it. And they did it. And now they're like, you know what? Maybe we can trust these new gen animators
to do whatever they want, creating some of the best looking action anime.
Isn't that also why One Piece looks so good right now too? That their Toei animation is being way more flexible and just basically just like having faith in the webgen talent.
At the time, and after Hakugo had a little bite of his ambition with this episode in My Hero, the Hakugo team, as we know now, displayed one of the best looking action episodes to this date, straying away with the original style that the show had. They unleashed
crazy.
So much cream. While all of this pen tablet fingering each other was going on, the year after 2017 is 2018.
Yeah.
The first credit of Cloverworks.
Oh, Darling in the Franxx. Yo, the 02 girl, one of the most iconic waifus. What's the show even about?
Came from Darling in the Franxx. The Koenji
rated pretty low. The hell? An anime this popular? I guess the anime isn't really popular. It's the girl 02 that's popular. 7.19 though, huh? Oh, the second half, the conclusion was bad. That's pretty much every anime.
Came from Darling in the Franxx. The Koenji branch handled most of the animation for Darling in the Franxx with the help of Trigger, but A1 was still credited since it was still under Yuichi Fukushima, producer from A1. Then they officially rebranded, or more accurately, split from A1 to make Cloverworks.
There it is, Cloverworks.
Aniplex. Yuichi Fukushima became one of the standout Anipi in Cloverworks. Same goes for Shota Umehara, one of the best Anipi now in the industry. In February 2017, left Dogokobo, then a month later joined A1 on his debut work in A1 being Idolmaster Side M. I don't want to get too detailed because I already made a dedicated video on Cloverworks a while back, so if you're interested,
Cloverworks
check that out. I don't want to end this video with a bad note, so let's talk about
Solo Leveling
of corporate greed.
Oh, okay.
Aniplex. Aniplex is notorious for their terrible scheduling for shows, overworking the fuck out of people. It unfortunately took a person's life in 2010.
Damn! Japanese Labor Standards Bureau, A1 Pictures staff member who committed suicide in 2010 did so due to stress of working 600 hours per 20 hours per day? 20 hours per day. And that's no days off.
A production assistant in A1, although this can be also how the industry flow nowadays. It's not healthy. This also doesn't...
Jesus Christ, hold up. Now apparently A1 doesn't have a time card system. Medical reason explained in the hospital card was 600 hours of work. Probably this is an exaggeration, but his habits and diary records allegation having 134 to 344 hours of overtime per month, and overtime probably not even paid, around 2009. Other evidence was his diary friends said pointing out that he allegedly had 3 months of continuous work without rest break days and was not going home this week. Also, no evidence of paid overtime. That's the fucked up part. They're not even paying him for that. Now, this is by the Labor Bureau, enough to be categorized as karoshi. And the family's lawyer want to continue pressing charges. A1's response is that if the allegations are true, it was unintended and unexpected, and since we did not know his reasoning, we cannot... That's such a fuck you to the face of the family. It's like, if the allegations are true, then we didn't mean it. And since bro didn't have more details, it doesn't matter, bro. What are you gonna do about it? Show me the receipts. Show me the receipt. Damn, that's fucked up. I mean, this is the norm in the anime industry. We're not, you know, foreign to this concept. But you know what's tragic, sad, and kind of funny at the same time? Kind of surreal. There are isekai anime that literally has this as the origin story. Like, for example, even like Slime 300 Years. How did she die in the beginning? From overwork. There are overworked salarymen dying and getting isekai. Like, that is literally the plot in these animes. And Zenshi as well. Like, Zenshi, I mean, technically the main character ate like a really, really old seafood meal and then died, but you get the idea.
This can be also how the industry flow nowadays. It's not healthy. This also doesn't help A1 and Cloverworks since they are both under Aniplex.
It looks really bad on them. I don't really blame one person though. It's you have to blame the whole system structure, right? Just because this incident happened, you can't say, oh, A1 Pictures bad, Cloverworks bad. You gotta like really look at who are the actual decision makers, the corporate suits that set the culture that, caused this to happen?
A1 shows has always had problems with delays or just bad scheduling. It's more visible now for most people with the recent Nier Automata and
Bro, this anime, man, holy shit, the scheduling is so bad. Isekai OG-san, another show, bro. Misfit of Demon King Academy. What the fuck happened with that, bro? That season 2 literally went on hiatus for like more than half a year and then came back. What else? Our Last Crusade. That shit literally came back recently after how many months, bro? Oh my goodness.
86 that had multiple delays, leading months of delays, and it's even currently happening with Fate Strange Fake.
Bro, this is so fucked up. There's an episode every 3 months, if we're lucky. Are we even getting episode 2 in April?
I mean, what the fuck are they doing? And,
I don't know.
Oh my god, they have a character called Sigma. What the hell? And for Cloverworks,
Sigma.
It's even worse. The Shota Umihara team keep producing high-profile projects with very little production time for such an ambitious project. And with My Dress Up Darling and Bochi Season 2 announced at the same time, it's not gonna change. Umehara got sent to the hospital twice.
Hold up, go back.
For such an ambitious project. And with My Dress Up Darling and Bochi Season 2 announced at the same time.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yo, nah, just because it's at the same time doesn't mean it's going to be necessarily bad. It does mean that the people will suffer. Absolutely. But the quality of the work may still be there through human slavery.
It's not gonna change. Umehara got sent to the hospital twice
due
to exhaustion in the middle of producing One Direct Priority. And a very good example about a recent disaster project is a movie in Cloverworks called Trapezium. It's an hour 35-minute movie that had 7 unit directors and 31 animation directors.
That's a lot.
And 7 assistant animation directors for a movie production. To compare that, another movie, let's say Uma Musume movie, which
peak
was more hella demanding with movement and overall ambition.
Oh my god, we gotta watch this, bro. I've been watching Cinderella Grave. We gotta watch the other Uma Musume animes, man. Look at this shit.
Had 4 unit directors and 9 animation directors and
looks
2
healthy.
assistant animation directors.
Scheduling looks healthy to me, right? Less is more. Less is more. The more you have anime directors and all the different people in betweeners, blah blah blah. What does that mean? Scheduling's fucked. Everyone is just scrapping to get the deadline in. This looks like a healthy roster to me.
It's absolutely scambolic. Scamboli reviews. Today, A1 from a lot of people's perspective are changing, not in terms of
what the hell does scamboli even mean? Is that a word?
Projects and such. I don't know if they lowered the amount of projects they pick up recently. I don't want to count it. More importantly, the scheduling and shit will never change. It's an industry problem.
Yep.
That's just unfortunately the norm nowadays.
Yep, that is literally reality. This is not an individual studio problem. While there are studios that can bypass this issue due to the amount of funding and just good work culture, like, for example, KyoAni, right? A Studio UFO Table, I think, also is doing really well, right? Why? Money laundering and fake ground order money, I guess. Just assumptions, but all studios suffer from this.
They are picking up staff to be employed or to be an in-house staff member.
Oh my god, guys, let's apply. Let's go work at A1 Pictures, guys.
It's more apparent with some recent shows. I'll talk about it soon. But let's talk about the teams first. There's a lot, so they basically picked up Studio 3 Hertz in 2024 because
I didn't know.
I don't know. They're making the Gun Girl Online alternative thing.
Sure.
So season 2 was now by A1. Yay! Lollies.
Yay.
There's a lot of Anipees/teams, so I'm gonna focus on the 4 more important ones.
Okay.
Shota Fuji, Anipede 86, and Nier. Although these 2 shows got hit with the worst delays possible, they still prevailed. Well, I don't know about Nier. There's 2 standout staff here. Kingo Matsumoto, animator, director, always a standout even from his SAO days. And we gotta thank Fuji for bringing in arguably one of the best directors that came out recently. His directorial debut in 86, Toshimasa Ishii. It is crazy that a talent that's pretty active in A1 still didn't get the limelight, but in 86 he did. The play around on aspect ratios, foreshadowing through visuals, imagery, and most of all, his audio direction is fucking amazing.
Yeah, 86 is objectively an amazing anime. I do meme about it saying, oh, this is baby's first deep anime, and people think it's so profound, but the level of symbolism, the imagery, the direction, the cinematography, bro, it is just all there and more.
There's so much to praise about Ishi, so I'm gonna stop right now. Sachio Fujita mostly animated the Fate Grand Order CMs that was by A1 and the Fate series in A1 like Apocrypha and Strange Fake. That's why they could bring in Sakazume and Enokido a lot of times. There's also other projects like Engage Kiss and Kagami no Kojo. It maybe is their strongest team just because Sakazume and Enokido has extensive connections with the whole webgen animators currently. And of course, since Fate
they got more clout,
trust a lot of young talent, they also brought some of those in the project, maybe from Sakazume and Enokido themselves. They're also amazing directors, if that's not obvious already. But why do we get one episode every fucking 4, 5, 6 months?
I don't know. What's going on?
Yuki animated Makiine and Kaguya-sama, and Atsushi Kaneko animated the Ornal Scale movie and all of Alicization, and of course,
Solo leveling.
There's a lot of signs that A1 is going more to an in-house, not like fully in-house, because why would they? In Solo Leveling, they didn't have the whole industry working on that show, like a JJK or any Cloverworks Umehara projects. It's a couple of freelancers that has really good connections with the studio and their in-house staff to put Solo Leveling to a very good looking action anime.
And that's really cool that like they can do this shit in-house, right? Relying on the entire industry to come bail you out for like a hype project. It's nice. Absolutely. You're gonna get stunning, you know, just maybe the height of animation like JJK Season 2. But at the same time, if you don't have that borrowed power, then what are you? So when you strip away all of the borrowed power and your in-house can, you know, create this kind of quality, that's peak, man. That's really impressive.
It's not at the same level as those shows, though. Don't be delusional. People like Kenta Toya and Takayuki Kikuchi are in-house staff.
Where's Kano at?
Kikuchi, of course, did some of the standout episodes.
I guess Kano's not an in-house staff.
Same goes with animators like Kano and Takafumi Tori.
Yeah.
They are freelancers, but they have really good connections. Takafumi Tori has always
honorable A1 in-house members, why not?
been a one-star action animator, doing a lot for the show, even being main animators for some. And Kano too, even in different production lines, still appears to do some stuff, like in Nier or Engage Kiss. And another show being Makiine, Shotaro Kitamura aced his directorial debut role, even with not much background on it, but he still fucking killed it.
Damn, that was his debut work, man. One of the best rom-coms I've seen recently, straight up. It was a rookie debuting. Great talent.
Nevertheless, but more surprisingly, most of the important roles are in-house A1 staff for the project, even for like sub-character designer and even the main animators. Of course, they still have like superstar animators popping up here and there, but it's clear that the in-house staff in A1 is getting more and more stronger. While the era of Asuna's ass,
Asuna. Honestly, this is no ass, bro. This is a fucking pancake ass. This is the definition of LMAO. LMAO. Laugh my ass off. It's a pancake ass.
Asuna's ass, Atsu's ass, and Shion's ass.
Shinon ass better.
Cheeks are gone. It's not gone out. That was just for a joke.
No,
A1 is taking the right path of managing productions, although Aniplex is still above them doing the decisions mostly. So the scheduling shit and stuff are still gonna be bad. Hopefully not like Fate Strange Fake 86 near bad. My brain fried a total of 4 times making this script for this video because I didn't want to make this video hella long for your attention span. And for me also, there's so much and a lot more to cover in the studio, but hopefully you get the gist.
I do.
The jizz of it. If you guys like this video,
give it a like. If you did it, leave a like.
Comment down below what are your thoughts on A1 as a studio.
And that's pretty much it. My thoughts about A1 as a studio is that they're peak. They are an amazing elite studio. If I am basically looking for a seasonal anime, looking at the roster, and I see the name A1 Pictures there, I'm probably gonna check it out, right? If it's like Gun Gale Online Season 2 or something, like, then I'm like, sorry, the GGO SC alternative or whatever, right? Then I have to watch some extra seasons, maybe not. But if it's like a brand new seasonal anime, and it is A1 Pictures, I'm like, dude, it's probably gonna be really good. That is the brand recognition. That's the power of brand recognition. When they have an established resume in history, You hear the name Ufotable, you're like, yep, gonna watch it. It's gonna be peak. You hear the name Mappa or Matas, you think, oh, human slavery. But maybe it's gonna be good, man. Probably will be good. You hear A1 Pictures, probably gonna be really fucking peak. Put some respect on A1 Pictures. They may be very degenerate in the fan service they provide, but who doesn't do that, right? And I think that they are such a standout, fantastic studio where, again, I see their name. I have utmost faith that the anime will be good. Please check out SinChi's video. This is very educational. Gave a great breakdown in history of this studio. Here's a link to the video. Go give it a like, and I'll see you next time.